Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Zen and the Art of Cooking. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be cooking the most delicious butter chicken you've ever had in your life. Let's get started. First of all, start with a coffee out of your Zen and the Art of Trading mug. All right, for this we're going to need 500 grams of tomato, small onion, a carrot, and a couple of garlic cloves. We're also going to need 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, preferably Kashmiri chili powder, 1 teaspoon of kasoorie methi, also known as fenugreek powder, and also about 1 heaped teaspoon of garam masala. And then finally, we're also going to need about 60 grams of cashew nuts, or about 1 handful. All right, so before we begin cutting up the veggies, I like to start with the chicken because we're going to marinate it in some garlic, ginger, and chili powder. Now we want to cut this chicken up into bite-sized pieces, so a couple of square inches each. But before we do that, we need to appease the cat gods by giving them a chicken sacrifice. So I cut off a little bit here, cut that in half, and then, come on, Hunter, come on. I give some to Hunter first, and then a little bit to Pharaoh. Now we can safely proceed with cutting the chicken. Now I'm using chicken breast here, but you could use chicken thigh if you prefer. And if you're a vegetarian, then just throw in your favorite veggies at the very end. There we go. Now we just want to dump all of this chicken into a big bowl. Now I'm using 2 chicken breasts or about 500 grams of chicken. All right, now we want to season the chicken with about 1 teaspoon of salt, about a tablespoon of chili powder, a tablespoon of ginger paste, and a tablespoon of garlic paste. And then give that a good mix. All right, now throw that in the fridge while we sort out our vegetables. Now we're going to blend all of our vegetables once they're done cooking into a sauce. So we're fine to roughly chop these. Hey-ya! Pow, pow, pow! All right, so now we want to start cooking our vegetables. So throw the heat on high, put in about a tablespoon of ghee. All right, now we want to throw in our onion, garlic, and carrot. And just cook this down for about 2 or 3 minutes until the onion starts to soften. And then, since this is butter chicken, we're going to throw in about 50-60 grams of butter. Now we're not trying to brown this onion and garlic, we're just trying to soften it. It shouldn't take long. All right, once the butter has melted, in goes our tomato. And then we also throw in our cashew nuts. Once that's mixed in, you want to throw in about a cup of chicken stock or just a cup of water if you're a vegetarian. Now we also want to throw in a tablespoon of garlic paste. Then we want to put in our, Jesus bird, relax. Then we want to put in our sugar, our chili powder, the garam masala, and the fenugreek powder, and a couple of pinches of salt. And then just mix that through. It smells bloody delicious. Now we just want to let this simmer for about 15-20 minutes until everything's soft, because then we're going to blend it. All right, that looks about ready to me. I'm going to turn the heat off, and then we are going to blend this. All right, once that cools down, it's time to blend it. Now you can use a hand blender if you want to, but in my experience, it makes the mother of all messes. So I'm going to use a normal blender. So now you want to carefully pour this into your blender. There we go. Hardly any mess. Now don't wash this yet because we are still using it. And now we want to blend this into a fine paste or sauce. Perfect. All right, now we want to heat up our pot again. So turn on the correct gas. And if your gas clicker stops working, just use a lighter. But be very careful. Don't explode your house. So now we are going to cook our chicken. So let the chicken sit out of the fridge for a couple of minutes while this heats up, and throw in about 2 teaspoons of ghee or butter and a little drizzle of olive oil or any other oil. All right, once your oil is nice and hot, you want to carefully dump in your chicken. And we just want to brown this a little bit. Be careful not to burn the seasoning. Damn, that smells good. Now, if you're vegetarian, just skip this step and throw in your veggies at the very end. And if you're vegan, probably you shouldn't be eating butter chicken anyway. The clue is in the name. Now, the sauce is already cooked, so once the chicken's done, we're finished. So if you have a thermometer, you can give it a stab, check if it's close to 75 degrees Celsius or whatever that is in American temperatures. And this is nowhere close, so it needs another few minutes. Otherwise, just leave it in for 20 minutes or so. You can always pour your sauce in and simmer it at the end as well. Now, don't stir this too often, but make sure it's not burning. All right, that's close enough. We can now put our sauce in. I like to strain the sauce to get all of the skin of the tomatoes and the carrot and all of that out of the butter chicken, but that's completely optional. However, if you want your butter chicken to be silky smooth, then this is the way to go. Sometimes there'll be some caught in the blender. I like to put a little bit of water in there to get that out. This will take a little while to strain, but it's well worth it, so be patient. You might need to help it along with a wooden stick or a metal instrument. All right, that'll do. All that's left in there is mostly skin and seeds from the tomatoes, but don't forget to scrape the bottom off of your strainer because there's some perfectly good sauce there as well. All right, now just give that a mix and let it simmer for a little while. Probably another 5-10 minutes on low. Damn, I don't have any cooking cream. I might have to go to the shops. Then you need to quickly run down to the shops because you forgot to buy some cooking cream. And take a moment to marvel at all the toilet paper. And then preemptively grab a bag just in case there's another lockdown soon. All right, now we're pretty much done. The last thing I like to do is crack in just a little bit of pepper and about 1 tablespoon of cooking cream. And then just stir that in. And if you're wondering, yes, I did get some strange looks walking out of the shops with nothing but a bottle of cooking cream and a massive bag of toilet paper. And we're done. All that's left to do is make some rice and serve it up. Although maybe taste a little bit first to make sure it doesn't need any more salt or seasoning according to your tastes. Now for the rice, I'm gonna use my crock pot slow pressure cooker thing, but if you don't have one of those, just do it however you would normally do rice and just follow along with the ingredients I put in there. So I'm gonna start with about 1 cup of long grain basmati rice, but you can really use any rice you like. And then about 1 cup of chicken stock, and then about half a cup of water. So 1.5 cups of liquid to your 1 cup of rice. And again, if you're a vegetarian, I don't know why you're still watching this video, but just use 1.5 cups of water. Next up, we want a little bit of salt, not too much, just a pinch. And then a pinch of turmeric. It's a little bit more than a pinch, but that's because I slipped. And then, if you have it, a nice big pinch of one of the most expensive herbs in the world, saffron. But if you don't have saffron, just use a little bit extra turmeric. And then, put your rice on for however long your rice takes to cook. If I can find the right button. There we go. All right, our rice should be done. Perfect. All right, all that's left to do is plate it up. Garnish it with about a teaspoon or drizzle of cooking cream and a sprinkle of chopped coriander, unless coriander tastes like soap to you, in which case just use parsley. And we're done. Now I know this is an April Fool's joke, but this is some of the best butter chicken I've ever had. Give it a try. If you don't like it, you can have your money back.